Hello, welcome to our channel C.S.E.Pathshala by Nirmal Gaur. In this lecture, we are going to study about data structures in Python. We will concentrate on few basic tasks such as sorting, queues, arrays, searching data, and many more. The fundamental of data structure in algorithms, the basic elements from which large and complex software projects are built. The specification should be formalized. The crucial details of problem to the data structure is intended to solve. There are three things to have a good understanding of data structures requirement is first of all you must learn how to arrange the data in the memory of the computer. Secondly, you must become familiar with the algorithm for manipulating the information contained in the data structure. And thirdly, you must understand the performance characteristics of the data structure so that when we called upon among the suitable programs, the data structure should use in a particular application so that we can be able to make an appropriate decision. So what actually the data structure is? The data structure is a particular way of sorting and organizing data in a computer so that it can be used efficiently. The ability to formulate an efficient algorithm depends on the ability to organize data in an appropriate manner. It's a special way of sorting the data and organizing it. Generally, the data structure includes the array, file list, and linked lists, stacks, queues, trees, graphs, and many more. The term actually the data structure is used to denote a particular way of organizing data for a particular type of operations that are being performed in Python in this series. There are two types of data structure, that is primitive data structure and non-primitive data type structure. So here is the flow chart of data structure, what we are going to learn whole the lecture. That is, there is two types of data structure, that is primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. What comes under the primitive data structure? It comes the integer, float, character and pointer. And under the non-primitive data type structures, there are the arrays, list and files. Over the arrays, it is being defined in upcoming lectures and everything will be explained there. Today is just a introduction to the data structures, and over the list there are being classified further to linear list and non-linear list. In linear list it comes under the stacks and queues, whereas in non-linear list it comes the graphs and trees. So where is the explanation from primitive data type? What actually it is? It is known as the system defined data type, the primitive data type provided by many programming languages that are int, float, char, double, bool, etc. With different programming language depends upon the different of types of bits allocated for each primitive data type. So here is the example next for the primitive data type. Have a look. Like for int, if we take 2 bytes or 4 bytes, what it will be happening is for 2 bytes, the possible values are minus 32768 to plus 32767. It depends upon how many bits we take. For int values, we generally used to take 2 bytes, and for float or for the bool, we generally used to take 32 bits or so on. For example, if we take 4 bytes, then the possibility is minus 2147483648 up to plus 2147483647. It depends upon how many bits we are going to take for each programming language. So it's basically depends upon the how many which programming language we are using, and how many number of bytes are there in each data type. So next come over is non-primitive data type. What actually the non-primitive data type is, it is if the system defines the data type, which is not enough, if the primitive data type is there, which is not able to define the data type, so we use non-primitive data type. That is, the most of the programming language allows the user to define their own data type called user-defined data type. Non-primitive data type are the sophisticated member of data type structure family. So it's pretty clear, like if the primitive data type is not applicable, we have to use the non-primitive data type. Next, they only don't store values, but rather a collection of values in formats. Like if we have two pets not in a stored in a memory location, so it will be stored in some values like we did in plus and minus up to storage values. And then example comes upon is below is the snippet of non-primitive data type, which defines that by combining many system-defined data types and calling the user-defined data type, the code is being called upon and defined by the new type. New type is recalled by the function, and with this data types gives us more flexibility and comfort to the computer memory. So here we define a class that is non-type object, and after that with the def initialization we define a program so that it can allocate the memory of the positions. Next come is variables. Now what variable is? Variables are the containers for storing the data values, and unlike other programming language, Python has no command for declaring a variable. A variable is created the moment you first assign a value to it, and all of us know, like we solved the mathematical equation since the childhood, and here is an example below. X square plus 2y minus 2 is equals to 1, which means like the important thing is to be understand is in this equation x and y, which is the name of the equation, which holds the value means data. That means the names x and y are placeholders for representing data. And similarly, in computer science programming, we need something for holding data, and variables is that way to do that. Like in this equation, x square plus 2y minus 2 is equals to 1 is the variable that x and y can take any value such as integral number 10 or 20 and real number 0.23, 5.5 or just 0 and 1. To solve the equation, we need to relate them to the kind of values they can take upon, and the data type is the name used in the computer science programming for this purpose. What is a data type now? What data type is a programming language is a set of data with predefined values. Like examples of data types are integer, floating point, unit number, character, string, and etc. Thank you for watching. Subscribe the channel for upcoming videos. So in next video, we are going to further classify the primitive and non-primitive data type, their variables and their types. Thank you.